What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about the Orlando Magic and their offseason because I think that throughout this entire regular season and especially in the playoffs, they have one very apparent need, and they need to get it fixed in order to maximize Paolo, maximize Franz. There's a certain particular type of player that they need to add to make this work to where they can get over the hump. In the comments, I want to know who you think that guy is. For me personally, they need an elite guard that can floor space and create. It's going to cost them a pretty penny. That's for sure. They're going to have to make a trade of some sort because I don't think that there's anybody in free agency that's going to blow the doors off for them from that. That being said, I think there's actually a few guys they could make a very competitive and compelling offer for to pry them away from the teams that they're on. I think the easy one that people talk about is Trey Young because the Hawks have just been play-in prominent for the last 4 or 5 years. That they've just been there and nothing better, nothing worse. The Hawks could be in a situation where they just fired their GM. Maybe they're like, let's just overhaul this entire thing and start over. Trey Young has been kind of rumored to be on the market for a little bit. He may want to leave. That's very possible that he may just be over it. Now, if they were to go trade for him, obviously Trey Young is going to subtract your defense a ton because he does not play defense. We know this. But the Magic already have such a great defense that I think they can lose some defense in order to get some offense because they got nothing from their guard play in the postseason against the Celtics. It was bad. That anytime you see Corey Joe in the starting lineup, if you think it's a regular season game, sure, maybe you let it go. That was a postseason series where Corey Joe was having to start. And that's not to trash Corey Joe, but to show that how big of a weakness the Magic had right there. That's what they were dealing with. They need somebody that's going to get Paolo and Franz easier looks and just make life easier. They did not have that. It was very obvious. Every basket was a struggle. Now, if you go get a guy like Trey Young, it is going to cost you, but ultimately, what he does as an offensive engine would transform how the Magic play. They would be able to run a little bit faster, get up and down. They have somebody that can break down a defense, get to the free throw line alongside Paolo. Imagine having both of those guys attacking like that. That would be really special. I don't know what the trade offer is to make that happen. And it's not really what I do. I don't really if they trade Anthony Black and Cole Anthony and whatever other salary you need to get into some picks. I don't really care about all that. As long as you keep Paolo and Franz, I think most of what the Magic can do is probably pretty good. So I think Trey should be a definite, probably target number 1. And if you want to go a little more cost effective, Anfernee Simons, hometown kid, would be perfect. In his situation in Portland is very reminiscent of other situations where you have too many guards on a team that's trying to develop, right? Anfernee Simons is pretty damn developed at this point. He's not going to provide you much on defense, but he can fill up the cup. That's how that goes. He can give you 30. He can give you 7-8 assists. He can do all that. He can shoot from anywhere on the court. That would be super vital. And I don't think he would cost nearly as much as a Trey Young would. And you look at what his situation is, where he's basically, if you're Portland, you need Scoot Henderson to play. You need Shaedon Sharpe to play. You have these guys. They need to be playing 30-plus minutes. Where does Anfernee Simons fit in that? I think he's probably better than both of those guys, but he's also older. And I don't know. I think Anfernee Simons would be the perfect dream fit for the Magic, for the cost, and what I would kind of assume would be traded for him. I think he'd be awesome there. And I think a lot of Magic fans, I think a lot of them typically will agree a little bit because he's the hometown guy, and he fits exactly what they need. Now, there is one dark horse thing that I would be very enticed by if it were to become an option. But if the Charlotte Hornets decide that they want to just completely retool, rebuild the rebuild, and trade LaMelo at this point, because their team has just not made any progress the last couple of years, and I don't know when it's going to start. I know Brandon Miller missed pretty much all of last season, but if the Hornets think that maybe LaMelo's not the franchise guy that they want because he doesn't stay on the floor, for them at least, maybe Orlando's maybe that's the guy, because we know LaMelo can light it up. We know he can play super fast. He's a better defender than both Anfernee and Trey Young. Well, he's not leaps and bounds better. He's a bigger body, so he's got a little bit more just utility on that end. I think LaMelo would be really fun in this situation. And I think when you get an outlandish personality like him with a very hard-nosed Paolo, it's like a contrast to each other that I think would actually be fun to watch on a basketball court. So I think LaMelo would be fun if the Hornets started to entertain it. I don't think that's super, super likely that happens, but, you never know. We didn't think the Luka Doncic thing was going to happen. It probably will never happen ever again. But we've seen crazy stuff happen. So maybe LaMelo becomes on the table this offseason. Don't know. But the last one I have, and this is only if the Phoenix Suns decide that they're just going to absolutely fire sale their entire team, which I do not. I think there is a 1% chance at most that happens, because I think their owner, Matt Ishbia, wants to contend. That's all he wants to do. But if the Suns say, you know what, this has just been, this experiment with Booker, Beal, and Durant has just been an utter failure, and they're like, we're just going to completely overhaul this whole thing. If Booker is on the market, like Devin Booker, if he became an option, he's not a point guard, but I know that he can play the position well enough to where the Magic would be a legit threat to win in the East. I think that'd be fun. Like I said, I think there's a 1% chance that could even potentially happen. Probably less than that. I don't think Phoenix would fire sale Devin Booker. I think he kind of just is the Phoenix Suns franchise at this point. And he's just the guy for the community for them too. But I would love to see him, Paolo, and Franz on the same floor together. That'd be pretty fun stuff to watch. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking on that. I think maybe a guy like, if you want to go like an older vet to like bridge it to something else, like CJ McCollum probably has like the cheapest trade value of anybody that they could probably go get. He would be cool, but to me, he's just a bridge to the next guy. He's still really good, but he's not like elite, and he's not a star, but he would definitely be an upgrade, if that makes sense, and I think he would be cheaper than every option that I just listed. He wouldn't be the sexiest name you should go get, but if you got him, I'd be like, that's a bump. Okay, I see what we're doing. Like, get a little bit of floor spacing, get somebody that can drive to the rack, get a guy that's been in the playoffs for quite a bit. That would be something that they might entertain. But personally, I would love to see like Trey Young, Anfernee Simons as like the top two targets they go for. If LaMelo's on the market, then maybe you swing for the fences on that. But I think the Pelicans could be in a situation where trading CJ McCollum might be a thing. They have a few different avenues that the Magic can go. And I'm curious, who do you think they should go get? Do you agree with me that point guard or just elite scoring guard is the thing that they should be targeting? I think you could make an argument for like a better five-man than Wendell Carter Jr., but I don't know who fits next to Paolo better for the cost. Because I think ideally, and this is almost damn near every team, you want like a stretch five next to Paolo that can protect the rim. But those don't grow on trees. So maybe they draft that or something like that. But I don't know. I think they should be focusing on guard because they need somebody that's going to set the floor, set the table for all their other players. And I think that's just should be the plan for the offseason. If they leave without that, they're going to be doomed to run this back again and probably be bound for the playoffs. And granted, this team was so injured, or I said bound for the playoffs, but more bound for the play-in. But this team was so injured, so it's really hard to kind of gauge how they really were. I think Jalen Suggs is still really good. He just missed 60 games, whatever it was. Franz missed a ton of time. Paolo missed a ton of time. They're basically core three players, like never played together, like all season. So I think the Magic are a team that, if they got healthier, they could definitely be a better, like a bigger problem in the East next year. But I think they're still even fully healthy, they're still going to miss some sort of juice in the backcourt that they're going to need. So, I don't know. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like this kind of content, please like the video. Sorry it's been so damn long. It's probably been like 9 or 10 days since I dropped the video. But I just moved into a new house. So, that took me forever. And I'm finally settled in. So, I can get back to dropping content. So, hopefully you guys like this video and all that good stuff. And we can keep it pushing. But I'm done. Peace.